plays Vokidov in round 6. Oh, look at him chilling in his hotel room in Goa, in India.
Wow, not the first time we've seen a player getting very comfy and playing Tidal Tuesday. I've been there too. I've played from all sorts of places. I played from a boat once, Tidal Tuesday. But here we see Jose Martinez, who always opens with e4. And Magnus has gone away from a6 and h6. He started playing g3, b6. He's loving these fianchettos now. On the long diagonals, and Magnus is maybe going to go for the hippopotamus defense, which means just kind of putting all your pawns on the 3rd rank or 6th rank here. Nope, he strikes at the center instead. And this is, again, very risky stuff. White's apparently a lot better, but as long as Magnus survives the opening, he'll probably be pretty happy. So no hippo here. It's more of a hybrid between some kind of St. George's defense and some kind of fianchetto.
He started at the edge of the board with h6, a6. Now we see g6, b6. Maybe next game we'll see f6 or c6, and he's moving his way towards the center.
That would be perfect symmetry for Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah.
Just go through all the pawn moves.
That is something he could do for fun. Maybe not f6. That's not a.
That's a risky one.
That's a risky one, yeah.
Truly showing he's an all-round player. We're talking about all-round sporting today in chess. Can you actually specialize in online blitz chess, for example, and in over-the-board chess? And will we see more of that in the future? Do you think that, David?
I definitely think so. I mean, even Magnus's opponent today, Jospem, Jose Martinez, he's been a bit of a specialist online for years. He very rarely played over-the-board tournaments, of course, a very strong GM. But he's been winning Tidal Tuesdays for years. He's been competing at the top. Of course, there was some controversy. He had this match against Kramnik. And yeah, I mean, he basically proved that he's a beast over the board as well. So Blitz is definitely his favorite by a mile. And he knows he'll always be a strong GM over the board, but he'll be an elite online player. And I think that will set the trend, especially if prize money rises in online tournaments.
Would you like to see that, Asbjørn? Chess going more into the direction of esports, where you still, of course, have the prestigious over the board and world championships and stuff like that, but that players can also specialize in online chess if they're super good on the mouse, if they're speedy, if they have these other skills.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like the lower the time control, the more important these other things become. Like mouse skills. We saw Andrew Tang practice earlier before the tournament. You're doing some aim training online, and suddenly these more esportsy things become important. So yeah, it's definitely something that I think will become more important going forward.
Yeah, that would be so cool to see. Probably though, Magnus Carlsen will be in the top, both over the board and online, for years to come. But he is struggling now against Jose Martinez.
Yeah, he doesn't like his last move, Magnus. He was reacting somewhat. This is very committal. He's aiming to push his pawn forward even further to kick away this white knight, to force it backwards, and then he might have some pressure against white's central pawn. So it's a clear plan, but he has left this square unguarded, and not the best move from Jose Martinez. Maybe there was something else. He removes, trades a bishop for knight. This is probably something Magnus is happy about in general, but it does mean that white gets a very strong light squared bishop staring down at the enemy king, and big threat in the air, knight into this square, which is stopped by Magnus. But the bar saying that there's something wrong with this move.
Can you take on f7? No, maybe not.
Magnus is reacting.
No. Let's listen in.
Seems like a logical decision.
Okay, not too stressed.
King g7.
Bar saying that Magnus...
Just telling him that all of the attacks you think you may have over here, I don't believe him. I don't believe him.
He doesn't believe it, and the bar swings in Magnus's favor.
Wow, and he's right not to believe white's attacks anymore, but I just want to point out that Asbjørn did find the winning move. It was actually after the black king stepped up, white could have taken this pawn just on the last go. King takes pawn, and the white queen steps out to this square, replacing the bishop. The queen would have been winning a pawn in the process due to this bishop hanging. So there were some tactics. Magnus could have been a pawn down with a weak king. Would have been a winning advantage, but suddenly it's Magnus on the ascendancy. This pawn is hanging, this bishop is jumping in with a check in the near future. It's been a full 360, full turnaround here. And yeah, poor Jose Martinez played everything perfect, just missed the moment, and now being punished. Magnus has full control again. That was, yeah, that's just chess. Like, sometimes there's one moment for it. Like, you saw the idea, right? But it's just timing it.
Yeah.
Timing it.
And Yeah, now it doesn't work anymore. And as Magnus said, he doesn't believe in the tactical ideas you may think you have. So, yeah.
And now he's up on the clock. He's about to be up on the board. He can, yeah, there we go, trade off and win a pawn if he wants to. Oh, he actually goes away with his knight, maybe even stronger. Now I'm expecting him to take with a rook. And don't take that rook. There are knight checks in the air, knight forks.
Tricky.
Tricky. But it's all about this bishop now, just staring down at the white king. This is horrible.
What is Magnus Carlsen talking about?
Just throwing everything at him.
Magnus Carlsen is throwing everything at Jose Martinez. He is massively better. He is about to go up to 6 out of 6 in game week 10. Magnus Carlsen on fire in his comeback to Title Tuesday.
Ooh, and finally white spots the idea if bishop takes pawn. You probably don't want to take that bishop because the white knight, even the white queen might come forward with a check. But there must be something along this diagonal. There we go. It is a check. The white king in the corner was hit. Doesn't want to take that pawn. Doesn't want to sit on the light squares. Now Magnus just has to do some calculation. Where is the win? What is the winning blow? He takes off the white knight. And he's just going to step back with a fork. There we go. He hits the queen. He hits the bishop. He's just going to take this bishop with his king. And he's just winning. Knight up. He's going to close this side of the board. Should be game over now. It's been perfect ever since that one slip from Hosbem here. Magnus has been so smooth.
All right, Hosbem, that's his nickname on chess.com, real name. Jose Martinez, Grandmaster from Mexico, one of the best online Blitz chess players in the world, but in huge trouble against Magnus Carlsen. It's about to be a win for the Norwegian.
Yeah, you just have to be careful of any checks, any last-minute counterattacks. I'm expecting Magnus to just move his king away. I'm not sure which square is best. Probably I would go the whole way back, but Magnus just making sure, double-checking his calculations. 1 minute should still be more than enough if he can be accurate here now, Magnus. I'm a bit surprised he is allowing checks, and suddenly Magnus has let it slip.
Oh.
Does he have a perpetual? Is that a thing?
Why would he allow queen check? That is wild. What is Magnus thinking?
Oh, he was
so winning, and now he's walking into a check this way. Okay, no more checks for white, but white does have a very strong pawn. I'm guessing this is the only way to keep the attack going. Jose does find it. Magnus is panicking. The queen goes back, and as long as white doesn't trade queens, you cannot take the queens off. You're a knight down, but I'm looking at moves like this one. Queen up to h8. Trying to get rid of the rook, trying to make his second queen. Magnus has lost control. First it's a check. He'll go back with his king. Maybe there's nowhere safe to hide.
He's taking under the minute on the clock. Can he even lose this?
He could definitely lose this, Magnus. If he plays on for a win here, he might be in a bit of trouble. I'm expecting the white queen to keep checking. But this idea of queen to h8 in the near future could be the key to saving white when the checks do dry up.
This has been quite the roller coaster.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think he just relaxed Magnus too early.
Yeah.
He was totally winning, and he knew it. He did not need to allow any checks. But he did, and he might have missed this idea.
In huge trouble now. Magnus Carlsen, the bar is saying balance, but Magnus Carlsen only has 45 seconds left on his clock. This is round 6. Jose Martinez, is he the one who's going to go up to 6 out of 6?
Magnus needs to bail out here now. He can force a draw. He can give checks now with his queen. He's giving checks. He's going to go back and forth, and he's going to bail out, but his perfect week will be over.
Whoa.
He attacks the rook. That's risky, playing on for the win. But Magnus, I don't think he can play on much longer if the king just comes back to defend its rook. Will that lead to a repetition? 31 seconds. You can't risk it much more. As Jose does continue to think. The queen comes back with a check. Magnus runs away. The rook comes up to the top of the board now. Okay, Magnus really has to give a check and make a draw before a second queen appears. Can he still give a check and repetition here? That is the big question.
Wow.
Ooh, he's playing with fire, Magnus. The queens are dancing, though. This is going to force the repetition, and Jose now plays for the win. Or does he? Magnus can come back with the queen, and that will be the third time. Surely we're going to see this position.
20 seconds left, but now it's going to be...
Surely a draw. Rook up to the top of the board. Oof.
No, he's
Jose
playing
plays for a win.
But
That's a
Magnus is
blunder.
winning. What?
Wow, Jose Martinez is trying to flag Magnus Carlsen, but black has an extra knight. And now the attack has dried up. He's going to win the white pawn in the near future. Magnus is totally winning, but 13 seconds.
It's going to be a scramble.
Wow.
We are down to a time scramble. Magnus Carlsen needs to play speed chess now.
How quick are you, Magnus Carlsen? That's the question. As he pushes his pawn, the white king is super safe. The black king not safe. That is a bit of a problem. The black king walking out into the open now, but he has blundered a check, a knight fork. He's now a rook up, Magnus Carlsen. Jose Martinez is playing against Magnus's time. 5 seconds. The clock's so red right now. He's totally winning. Magnus is one move away from giving a checkmate. But Jose Martinez is burning his time. He gives a check. He has to keep checking. His time runs out. No, he's still going. Jose Martinez, and Magnus does win on time.
Oh, wow.
Gambit, everything, all at once. But we win. Another unconvincing game, but it gets us to 6 out of 6.
That's a happy Magnus Carlsen on a perfect score. 6 out of 6. Huge.